Happy New Year again. I'm your host tonight. My name is Eric Liu. I am the co-founder of WeCloudData, one of the co-founders at WeCloudData. I'm also the head of data analytics, aka business intelligence. So we use DA and BI interchangeably. Well, depending where you are, you probably are having a big snowfall in Toronto, maybe some rain in Vancouver. If you are from South America, lucky you, it's summer. Wherever you are, I think thanks to technology, we are connected on Zoom. It's great turnout tonight. So we have 65 people. That's fantastic. 66, including Adam and me. And tonight's topic is about data analytics, job search, and using some of the AI technology. But first of all, it's always about the job and the job market. It's very strange if you watch the stock market. It's great in the US, in Japan, even Canada. The stocks are doing great. But that doesn't mean the economy is going well. And we have heard layoffs from the big tech companies, and we know from our own experience, it's not easy to land jobs these days. And now it's officially 2024. I'm pretty sure every one of you, has your plan. Whether you're looking to transition into data space or maybe AI, because AI is such a big trend, mega trend right now, and everybody talk about AI. And some people worry about it. Some people think it's a great opportunity. Now we will talk about that a little bit in the second part of the presentation. And AI is going to affect everybody. And as the saying goes, if we can't beat them, join them, right? Okay, the job market. At the beginning, I asked everybody to play with this link. If you see my screen, this is not a simple search. It is a Boolean search with a lot of keywords. I think it might be easier to see this, okay? So first of all, you see data. I want every job returned has data in it, has the keyword data in it. And then data within this bracket, you see so many keywords and key phrases, and separated by all. So meaning if the posting has any of these keywords, it will be returned by the search. And some of this is key phrases. If I put risk management within quote, then risk management are treated as one key phrase. So including data and one of these, okay? And then I also want you to look at, some other criteria. And this is the most important. I put this last 24 hours. So the age is 1 day. So that means this 98 jobs were posted in the last 24 hours. So if you bookmark this search, and if you click on it every day, if you click it today, and if you click it tomorrow, because of this criteria put in there, it's going to return different jobs. I hope you understand this, because you limit the age of the search within the last 24 hours. And this is very, very important. Right now, almost every single job attracts hundreds of applications. And my advice to you is don't ever apply for jobs that's one day old. That's 24, that's more than 24 hours old. Always apply for new jobs and make sure your resume is, among the first 30, first 50 if you apply, in the morning. Okay, so I just want to use this search and just go through some of the postings it returned. So if you look at the first one, this is from TD. It says analyst, market intelligence and analytics, and that's TD asset management. So it's interesting. Every department needs data analyst. You can attach the word analyst to almost every single function, and that's already a role, within the banking world, within any organization for that matter. So just look at the title, and then if you go down to this one, I'm not quite familiar with this company, but it is hiring a BI specialist, business intelligence. So I like to tell you that DA, data analytics, or BI, business intelligence, are sometimes used interchangeably. In fact, they're different. They are different stages of the same process. In fact, the whole process includes 3 phases or 3 stages. The first one is BA, business analysis. The second one is data analysis. And the third and the final stage is business intelligence. So put it very simply, business analysis is you analyzing the business needs and requirements and making sure you're solving the right problem with data. So after BA is DA. So you go to every possible data sources, and then you collect data, you process data, and you put data together and maybe create a data model. And the second stage, data analysis, is the least exciting, most time consuming, but also the most important part of the process, because if you do a poor job in DA, there won't be any insight or business intelligence coming out of there. But DA is not the end of the process, because nobody within the organization, especially in the business team or senior management, can consume raw data. So business intelligence is built upon data analysis, and you try to extract, insight from the data, and you also find a way to use visual, like dashboards and reports, to communicate the insight back to the business team. So business intelligence is the highlight of the whole process. But depending on the focus, sometimes you see different titles, right? So over here is CBI specialist, but that doesn't mean this individual doesn't do BA, doesn't do DA. And most likely, every one of us will be doing, BA/DA/BI. So in fact, if you can do all 3, and if you build this professional range, you're going to make a lot more money. There are 2 strategies. You can go wide, you can develop the skills in BA, DA, and BI, or you can go deep. You can become more specialized and become a data scientist or data engineer. And so these are 2 different strategies, and depending on your personality, some people, they love to go between, technical team and business team and working horizontally. And that works for you, and you can also make good money. Okay, so let's keep going. Looks like the banks are big employers, in GTA. CIBC, another one. So senior financial analysts, reporting and analysis. So this is the finance department. And if you go further down, head of data and AI strategy, this is probably a more senior role. Go down again, BMO, it's manager credit risk data. And so this is a different department. This is credit risk management. Go further down, you have University Health Network. I think this is and the network of the teaching university. So universities and schools, even public sector, are also hiring, DA, OBI. And I believe this is pharmaceutical and data operations engineer. So even operations team, they need analysts, from day to day, and at the most granular level, people still, or employees still need to make decisions. They want to make better decisions with data. So there you go. They need your help. This is another role within the same company, procurement. So this is sorting, purchasing. Once again, logistics, data analytics, and BI are also involved. Going further down, these are the companies I'm not quite familiar with, but if you look at the salary, it actually pays well. There's more senior role, Loblaw, co-op analytics, business insight and analytics. So we know Loblaw is a big retail in Canada. So retail for sure. That is the industry with a lot of competition. In fact, in the retail world, they are using the newest technology because the competition is cutthroat. So they just have to change the way they work, go through the digital transformation and going digital. By going digital, I mean, even Loblaw has the digital. Loblaw has Loblaw Digital, right? So you can probably see, 20% online, 80% offline, or you can flip it. If you see e-commerce like Amazon or what's the other one in Canada? I slipped the ton of. I can't remember, but you see the big e-commerce probably has 80% online and 20% offline. Okay, so let me just take a look at the comments. If you have any questions, please raise your question using chat. I'm trying to answer your question as we move forward. So I don't want to bore you down on TD again. So the banks are hiring big. If we go to the second page, oh, CIBC again. Oh, finally, we have a consulting firm, PwC. So this AWS Data and AI Practice Director, this is more senior. So it's about cloud computing and AI. Data actuary and longevity. This, I'm guessing, is probably in insurance industry. BMO again, Sun Life Insurance, and OSL Retail. So this is a consulting firm in the retail industry who are consulting. Deloitte, so another consulting firm, marketing specialist. The most important client-facing department or function, like marketing and sales, and you bet they use DA and BI very intensively. So let's just go to one more page. CGI. CGI is like Microsoft in Canada, big software company. Canada Goose. So this is, we know Canada Goose. It's clothing and fashion. So almost every industry, home equity bank, this is not And this is a NAM bank. It's not the tier one, big five, but it's also a bank. It's a research analyst. So this is probably combining qualitative research and quantitative research. MCAP. This is also in financial service. I think it's very big in commercial mortgage. Sign up again. All right. Question from Michelle. You got to be a senior employee for anyone to care about you as an employee. Gaurav, is the search box case sensitive? No, it's not. It's not case sensitive. You said apply for jobs with less than 50 applications. How do we check that? Indeed, and master. A little bit on that. The job search strategy. A lot of you have applied for jobs. Some of you have sent hundreds of applications, but you never hear back from the jobs you applied for. And it is like shouting into a big black hole. And that is the most frustrating experience. And to avoid that, I urge you to please pay attention to 5 or 6 things. Number one, we already talked about that. Apply for only new jobs. Apply for jobs that got posted in the last 24 hours. And number two, apply for the right jobs. And using this search criteria is one way to make sure you narrow down the search to the companies and the jobs you target, right? And you can fine tune. You can always make adjustment to your search criteria, but it gotta be better than just type in data analyst. That's just too simple. We are in this business of data analytics and business intelligence, and we need to do better than that. So number one, apply new. Number two, apply right. And number three, apply early. I don't know if you already have a job or if you are looking for a job, full time. So if you have the luxury of time, and I urge you to apply for jobs ideally before 8:30 every morning and before everybody else does. So that way you can make sure you get, response from the employers. And if you do that, I assure you, you can immediately, receive some of the responses. So apply before 8:30. So apply early, apply right, apply new, and apply early, and apply often. You need to apply every day, every work day from Monday to Friday. And what else? Apply enough. So you need to apply for at least 10 jobs a day and every day. So that comes down to how many. I think 10 jobs is a good number. So every month, if you count 20 days, so that's 200 applications a month. That's not too many, I tell you. But people say, if I need to, customize my resume for every job posting, 10 jobs, I will need to spend a lot of time. So that is another advice I want to give you. You don't need to customize your resume for every single job posting. Work with your mentor and craft a good resume, but use the same resume for every single posting. Simply, if you spend half an hour to customize your resume, the quality of that customization is low. So it's better off using the same resume. But this comes down to what kind of jobs you want to target. Of course, it's not one size fits all. And your job search criteria, make sure you target the right jobs. But for those jobs in a given industry, the resume should look consistent. You don't need to customize your resume for every single job posting. So if you do just upload and submit, I'm pretty sure you can apply for 10 jobs a day every day. It shouldn't take too much of your time. Maybe half an hour to an hour maximum. Any question? Okay, let me just go through the question. Lots of questions. Great. I like questions. Are these search tips strictly for Indeed, or are they applicable to any other job work site? Kyle, if you go to LinkedIn, you can do similar, advanced search. You can narrow down the. I'm pretty sure you can do the last 24 hours. You can specify the geography within maybe 25 or 50 kilometers radius of wherever you live. And you can also do and or you can put things within bracket. So this is called Boolean search, and I'm pretty sure you can do that. And for every single job word, you just search for advanced search, linking advanced search and Glassdoor advanced search, and it will take you there. And so you can, put the keywords, key phrases in different boxes. All right. And actually, is there criteria for keywords to look out for career switchers? Okay. Career switchers, we have a lot of career switchers, and I don't think the search criteria will be different for career switchers or recent grads. The particular things you need to do, if you're a career switcher, is really to make sense of your past experience, or even your educational background to the future employer. And that's something we'll talk about. It's not that hard. And as a matter of principle, your past experience and your educational background are useful. Don't throw them out the window. You're not starting from scratch. So it's an art to rewrite your past experience so it look relevant and consistent with your intention to switch into the data field. But that's possible. But if your past experience is completely, totally irrelevant, and then you will need to do some project, and you can put project experience on top of your work experience, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so I'm sure once we get 5 million more international students, the market will get better. Every job asks for experience. So how can a fresh grad can enter into a job in their field? So this is catch 22. You need a job to accumulate experience, but they ask for experience, even for you to get a job. So to really break that spell, I think there's no secret. You just need to do some high quality, industry grade, professional quality project. And that is what our bootcamp is here for. So we teach you the tools and just enough so you can do those projects, and you can put those projects, as the class C, experience. It is not work experience, but it is project experience. Sometimes, it's even better. And the work experience is day to day, sometimes it's not that relevant project experience is totally relevant. Okay, dog. Is there a way to use networking to get away from the applicant tracking system and get an ally inside my target organization? Totally. The answer to that is a big fat yes. So are there any networking strategies you could recommend? So Doug, as we all know, LinkedIn is the social media for professional network. I think there's always a way to get close to one particular job posting. So within WeCloudData, we are building and expanding and trusted network of students, alumni, and successful alumni, and the mentors. And we always encourage all the people to leverage the connections and resources to get close to the hiring team or the hiring manager, him or herself. Usually on LinkedIn, you can send cold emails, but just to make it easy for the recipients to accept, I usually send the request to connect with a note. So you could say something like, I'd like to know you as a digital influencer, who are smart, who can get things done, praise them and make people feel good. And so chances are they will accept your request. And after that, and the first message you sent them, I should say second message you sent them, don't immediately ask for a referral. I think it's always important to ask for advice first, because asking advice, you immediately make people feel important. Most people will, always get back to you, will give you a few pointers. If you want to land a data job in this industry, you need to do this and that. Okay, so usually the opportunity will not come up in the first round of interaction, but after a while you update the person on your progress. The strangers becomes acquaintances, and if you grab one moment and send your updated resume to the person, and by the way, I see your organization is hiring, and if you feel comfortable, please take a look at my resume to see if I live up to the expectation. So sometimes if you make it easy for people to help you, and people look at you and people look at your resume, wow, this is a very strong resume, right? And I know the hiring manager, and it's no trouble, for me to forward your resume to that particular person, and maybe I can, say a few, words about you, how I know you. I think that is just one best way for us to fast track, our resumes through the back door. That is one best way, because you're competing with maybe a few candidates instead of a few hundred candidates. I hope that's a long answer to your question. I hope. All right. Sometimes they ask questions or ask for tests, so it takes time. That's true. So nowadays, you usually have most of the time, 3 rounds of the interview. And depending on the company, I think it becomes more often. The company will give you the test first. So we call that code fight before resume fight. Because many employers may realize that screening candidates using the resume, sometimes they filter out very strong candidates only because they don't look that bright or good on paper. But if you give people the test, I tell you, 90% of the people don't do well on the test. So it could be coding test, could be a case interview. So immediately, you can weed out 90% of the competition if you take the challenge, if you take the coding test or the case interview, and immediately you wipe out 90% of the competition. So that is actually a good news for a lot of us. If you're strong, make sure you can pass the coding test, you can pass the case interview. And those are the two things at WeCloudData, we train our students to do. We grant them, with the coding workshop. We make them do 7, 8 projects. Some are medium-sized, some are big. But a lot of times, they have already done this 7, 8 times, and it becomes the muscle memory. So if they receive another case, given 2 or 3 days, they have no problem, completing the case interview. Okay, so the second round could be a screening interview with HR. So depending on the company, maybe HR screening happen first, or maybe the test will happen first. But then after this, a shortlisted candidates will have the opportunity to see the real hiring manager. So that is the most important thing. We want to make sure you pass the HR and you pass the test, so you get to see the real hiring manager, and then deliver your peak performance to impress them and convince them to give you that opportunity. Okay. The project later, yes, I will talk about the project. So we almost get down to, okay. One question about AI. Most companies use AI tools to check the keywords to match. Okay. Oh, I think Doug also mentioned application tracking system. So the resume is written for the machine and for the human. We'll talk about the resume a bit. So we need to have the right number of keywords, but at the same time, the resume need to make sense. A lot of people put just bullets on the resume, they don't make sense. Or they don't, if you look at the 3 or 4 bullet points under the same company or the same project, they don't belong. They are not reinforcing each other. That's because some of the people, they haven't really done the work they claim that they have done on the resume, and that is the typical imposter syndrome. I think most people feel very uncomfortable. They fear that the employer will ask them questions about this part of the experience on a resume, and they feel that they cannot defend it. So that's something we'll talk about in a bit. And from Chris, if you can build relationships, don't just hustle them for a request. I have received a lot of blind requests. It gets hiring a lawyer, you never know who will be willing to help. And that is very true. I also receive a lot of requests, but some people, I like to use the 2 words, they are pleasantly persistent. So they approach me in a very polite way, and they're persistent and make it very hard for me to say no. But I think most people, if they can, and if they feel good about you, they're willing to help you, to help out. So we just need to understand the psychology, between people, so we can become better at networking, job networking, and referrals. Okay, so with that, going to the different type of jobs. So on the screen, Today's focus is DA or slash BI, but I like to talk about DA slash BI in the context of different types of data jobs. So as you can tell, we have DA, DS, and DE, and MLE. And it's interesting for you to find they actually have the same, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Same 11 skills. So if you look at the spider chart, it's the same, it's along the same 11 skills, but with different focus. I'd like you to just look at the 5 points. So for instance, if you go from the middle point, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So as a data analyst, your focus is more on reporting, business insight, and that's your job. That's your job to, turn data into insight and tell a story and communicate to the business team or senior management, what happened in the past and why. And if you do this, this will be the result, right? So to break it down into 3 questions: what happened and why it happened, and what should we do about it, right? Any analytical project, I think it's about answering 3 questions: what happened in the past and why it happened, the symptom and the root cause, and going forward, then what? What should we do about it, right? So the recommendation. And most organizations are just scratching the surface. They even have trouble explaining what happened, not to mention, telling people why it happened, and not to mention the third and the most important thing is going forward, how can we do better? What can we do to monetize the opportunity? And what can we do to fix the problem before it gets bigger, right? So I think this is very easy to understand: reporting, business insight, storytelling, and data visualization. But if you look at data scientists, then they focus more on modeling, A/B testing, statistics. That is very true. So data scientists, they oftentimes come from stats or math background, and they do a lot of modeling or prediction or algorithm, right? But if you look at data engineer, they focus a lot more on database and data pipeline. When we talk about data pipeline, most likely it's on the cloud, right? So data pipeline, just like oil pipeline or water pipeline or plumbing, and I think you immediately think of infrastructure. So data engineering is responsible for the infrastructure. And machine learning engineer is more about deployment and operations. Okay, so if you look at this, yeah, a little bit less modeling, but more deployment and operations. So I think if we put DA/BI in the context of the different types of data jobs, you immediately understand as a DA or BI, you're the closest to the business team. Yeah. So you probably have more domain knowledge than the other 3. And you probably interact with the business team a lot more often than the other 3. So the other 3 rows, they are more specialized, but you have you go wide, you develop a professional range. So I don't know if you get this. Let me just check the question again. Okay, awesome. So where's this? I'm going to show you 2 resumes to explain, just to show you what a good resume should look like. I'll start with this one. And previously, we have different type of job seekers, and some are career switchers, some are recent grads. This individual was a recent grad when she was looking for work. Let's look at the bottom half of the resume. So you can see she actually has a master's degree and bachelor's degree, but in between, she didn't have any work experience. In fact, the only work experience is here. So this was her own company. I think it was 2019, and she created a event planning company to organize some concerts, for singers. But very quickly, COVID hit, and that company didn't go well, and she just closed it. And so for that reason, she didn't have any real work experience. So you can say the majority of the skills and experience, she got it from the book end. So now let's just look from top down. A lot of times people say you don't need the summary, but if you have enough space, and particularly for recent grads, if you have more space, first of all, always do 1-page resume. Now 2-page, it turned off, and 1-page is a delight. And I think you just make people's life easier, and for that reason, people will want to read it. And if you have enough space for the summary, that's good. So let's go through the summary. The summary is like the written version of the first interview question, tell me about yourself. But you need to finish this like in 10 seconds. It's a much shortened version. It's about your background and your years of experience and your strengths, and maybe your the most outstanding part and soft skills. Okay, so in this case, she mentioned a data-oriented analyst, business intelligence consultant, knowledge in economics, statistics, and analytics from macro to macro, and strong understanding. So this is domain knowledge and marketing, and then this is the data skills, data programming, and there is a difference between data programming and application programming. So this is not software, it's not IT, it's data. So she mentioned data programming and machine learning framework. Okay, so it's a little bit of everything. Superior, she did use the big word, superior cross-functional planning. So I think you can almost visualize this is horizontal. Remember, I talked about the entire process is horizontal from BA to DA to BI, right? So chances are you will need to work with IT, the technical team, to get data. And chances are you will need to work with different business team, marketing, sales, and operations, maybe product team, maybe finance, right? So superior cross-functional planning and execution, get things done, make things happen, experience with influencing skills. So you can see both hard skills and soft skills. Communicate with clients at all levels, and I really, really like that. So you don't feel intimidated, speaking to C-level or maybe VP and directors. And you also work well, with employees who are running with the day-to-day. Okay, so I really, really like the last sentence. It finished very strong. Work from business to data, to insight, to action, to outcome, and closing gaps and creating value. I love that. Well, some of you, if you like it, you can take a screenshot. You almost always have gaps. going from business to data and data to insight, insight to action, and action to outcome. And it's the outcome, the impact on the business outcome that really, really counts and really, really matters, right? So she's very good at closing gaps and creating value. So I don't know, when you write a summary, you really want to engage people and make sure they want to see in person. And let me just get more people in. And after that, it's the skills section. So this one is actually a bit weak. I will show you a stronger one, but it is in the right structure and the right format. Skills. Without looking at the details, I want you to look at the categories 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the way from programming, statistics, visualization, database systems, machine learning, and operation optimization, and business domain knowledge. So it's almost like you are trying to look at, these 11 dimensions. Should I sequence the different categories in this way or that way, and make sure you put the most important thing up front, right? Is programming the most important? Yeah, probably. I think as a data analyst or business intelligence analyst, you need to be strong in SQL, okay? So she put down SQL, and not just SQL, and she also include one specific thing for SQL, window function. So it's like if you mention window function, you look more like a senior than a junior, because almost everybody put SQL on their resume. Even the university students in their second year, when they look for co-op or internship, they put every tool they can think of on the resume. How can you stand out? So I show you a secret. So you can't just put down the tool. You need to be specific. And then you don't have to mention everything you know about SQL, but just mention a few, could be window function. Those people who know window function is an advanced user of SQL. So that is the impression you want to leave people with, okay? And then statistics. And she is not a math major, but she did mention A/B testing, regression classification, or hypothesis testing. Those are very, very basic, concept you need to know. She did mention customer segmentation. That's highly relevant. Even the business team who are not technical, they understand, right? And visualization, Tableau, Power BI, GIS. So this individual, she studied rural planning and development and double majors environmental geography. So GIS, that fits her, right? So GIS is something she knows. And database system, don't just mention one, MySQL. So she mentioned MySQL, SQL Server, BigQuery. So once again, you have worked with different database system, and that means your database skill is more than an average applicant. So remember, SQL needs to appear in two places, because SQL is both a programming language and a database system. I'm pretty sure many people don't or haven't realized that. So it's both programming and database system. So SQL is a database. SQL is also a language that you use to communicate with that database. I hope I made it clear. Okay. All right, so after this, you will need to put several projects. So this is a typical case when she didn't have any work experience to showcase, and then she made up with the project experience. So over here, if you count, there are 4 projects she worked on: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But she chose to elaborate 3 and mention 3 more. So I encourage you to use this 3+3 strategy. You give people 6 so people see the scope of your work. And that covers maybe more than one industry. And so that is a good thing. So it can broaden your search, not just retail, maybe retail and e-commerce, not just retail and e-commerce, maybe CRM, maybe digital marketing, maybe supply chain, right? Because these several things are all connected. So if that is the case, she mentioned Google Merchandise Store Dashboard. So this is digital marketing. And home credit default risk prediction. And this is risk management within financial service industry. And this is retail and e-commerce business analysis. And then what else? Neighborhood rating. So this is open data. Disaster analytics dashboard. This is open data. And the lending portfolio. And this is, once again, financial service, right? So I encourage you to be selective when you pick your 3+3. But some of you probably have the problem. You don't have that many good projects. Then you can find me and then we can schedule a meeting. I can walk you through the kind of project we do at WeCloudData. So I'm not sure if I get this idea across. So for project 3+3 and elaborate 3 most relevant project and mention 3 more. So I'm going to show you another. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is a 1-page resume, but hey, she actually has a 2nd page. So the 2nd page, just you probably will spend 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. Oh, so you will see, oh, this actually provides some evidence for this resume. So the resume make a statement, I am a strong candidate for this position. Please take a look at my work sample. Here is the proof, right? I am a strong candidate, and here's the proof. And I like that approach, you know? It's different from a 2-page resume, and almost nobody look at the 2nd page of your resume, except in this case, the 2nd page is a work sample. Okay, and the same is true, you know, this individual has a 2nd page. And this individual has a 2nd page as well, right? But you start to see the pattern. The skills, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories: data visualization, database system, programming. These are repeating. Business domain knowledge and business analysis. Business analysis is also a great skill. And some companies, they just hire business analysts, and you can fit in. Well, a business analyst who can also work with data and visual storytelling is even more valuable. So once again, you're playing that strategy. If you develop a professional range, you become more valuable, right? Because you are this rare combination of business and data and communication. It's not easy to find somebody who can communicate with the business team, know their needs and wants and requirements, and then can also work with IT to get the data and then turn data into insight and communicate insight back to the business. And it's very hard to find somebody. You either find a very strong programmer, but who create very ugly chart, or you can find a business expert, but who doesn't know how to work with data, right? So if you look at the project section, once again, 3 plus 3. Yeah, this is very similar to the previous one. They are probably from the same class. And this one too, you see this has more categories, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So even included advanced Excel, and even project management. So, and I agree, everybody should show a different personality, but you also need to show the most important keywords so your resume can pass the check of application tracking system. But knowing that eventually it's the human who will read your resume and want to see you in person. So that's the hard part. You have to make sure your resume is good for both machine and human. Okay, so question, how do you find project to do? Is it okay to create personal project using publicly available data, or has to be from under company internship? This is the question. I'm pretty sure you represent a lot of people in the audience. There are many people, they are using online resources. Don't get me wrong, DataCamp, Coursera, and Udemy, they provide good courses, skill-based training. I like to make a distinction between skill-based training and role-based training. The skill-based training, they're trying to teach you the tools without the context. And that is often very hard to do. Should we teach you everything about the tool? If not everything, how to choose, what to teach you. Whereas role-based training, because you're going to perform, marketing analysis, marketing analytics. So in the world of marketing, in this industry, when we use Excel or SQL or Power BI, we use these features most often. And then you only need to learn those 20% because you 100% sure, you will use them. And the other things you don't need to learn, at least you don't need to learn now, right? So that makes your learning a lot more purposeful. And once again, a lot of people are using the publicly available data and they do project on their own. So think about this. If 15 years ago, when the online courses just became available, and also a website like Kaggle became available, I think you can get by with some personal project and you can, get hired. And now the market is a lot more competitive, right? And the employer, they have a lot more candidates to choose from. So the skills that really make you stand out are very hard to learn by yourself on your own and using publicly available resources. And that's the reason why we exist. WeCloudData has been doing the bootcamp training for so long, and we've had a good reputation. We work with the employers or hiring partners, and we use a lot of the close to real cases and close to real data. But of course, we need to match any confidential or personally identifiable information. But all the data, or the size of the data, or the complexity, or the messiness of the data are exactly the same as you would experience in the real world. So the bootcamp training will definitely save you time, right? When you work with a team of experts, including the instructors, including the mentors, it's a lot faster for you to find a better job. Okay. How does 3+3 change if we have a good amount of experience across a couple rows? Chris, so if you have good amount of experience behind you, and then you can scale down the project experience. Of course, the real work experience, if it's highly relevant, you should use the real work experience. Only if you feel short, you don't have enough, or if you're a career switcher, you feel the past experience is less relevant. I didn't say irrelevant. I think because we're all in the public sector, in the business world, any experience you get from the past is relevant depending on how you write it, right? So you would play up the part of the experience that's relevant, including the business domain knowledge. If you work in marketing, if you work in sales, if you work in product, those business domain knowledge is highly relevant. So even if you didn't use data extensively, you can still highlight the part such as business analysis, and you understand business, you understand the business process, the key decisions business team need to make. You know how to measure success. You know the KPIs and different dimensions. But these are super important in business analysis, and oftentimes this gives data analysis and business intelligence the sense of purpose, right? So those things are definitely pearls, and you need to include them in your work experience. But only if you feel, oh, this is still not strong enough, and then I suggest you include a couple project experience. You could include 2 or 3 or 1, depends on how relevant your past experience is. But I like to emphasize, for career switchers, it's not going from 0 to hero. No, it's not. Your past experience is still valuable. You just need to scale down. Don't put more than half of the page writing about your past experience, because you're trying to reinvent yourself, right? So scale down, maybe put 2 bullets. Sometimes, if you have a couple jobs, if way back, 10 years ago, you can just put the title, the company from to, and that's it. You don't need to put any bullet points. And then instead, you can use that valuable experience for project experience, right? Or skill, right? Okay. So I'm going to pause here and do a check on the time. So 9:15, we have 45 minutes. And I promise you, I want to show you how to use OpenAI to help us with the interview script. Let me just show you a notebook. Okay, here. Let me just don't show this anymore. Let me restart and clear output. All right. Still running. So I'm going to show you the more complex way and then the simple way first. And the simple way everybody can do, and everybody has access to ChatGPT. But this is more advanced way. So this has something to do with prompt engineering, which we will teach. We will teach during the bootcamp. We are adding prompt engineering, OpenAI, large language model, and you don't need to code a lot. It's very, very basic stuff. So first of all, you will need to import OpenAI package and also OpenOS. Let's run this. So the reason I need this is to get my OpenAI API key from the environment variable. So I don't have to show my API key here. That's like my credential, right? I don't want to show it in my code. Then this is a very typical function you create. So define this function called get completion. So a lot of this, ChatGPT is you can generate or you can complete the sentence, or you can generate text based on a text prompt. So in plain languages, prompt is the question you ask, and then ChatGPT will give you a response. So it's the request and response. But in this case, it's text to text. So OpenAI also supports text to image, but this is text to text. So it's language related task, and you can use this. So here you can see we have different rows. So usually you have user and you have system and you also have assistant. Okay, so now you have the user, you are the user, and the content is the prompt, right? And we are going to use GPT 3.5 Turbo. So this is the free model. If you use GPT-4, and you need to pay a fee. Okay, so then I set temperature, to be 0, and I really want very customized answer. I don't like variety. Okay, and then this will give you the response. I only need to get the first one, and I'm going to extract the content from the first message. That's it. So let's run this function. And this function is going to look the same. Okay, so in order to create a mock interview script. So when you prepare for interview, let's break it down into 2 parts, the interview scripting and interview practice. And we strongly recommend that you write down everything you say. I know, some of you probably have different opinion, but there are 2 schools. One says write it down, and one says don't. And I say write it down word for word. So we need to predict, what kind of question you will most likely get asked, for a particular job, or a particular job description. So there are 2 parts you need to do. First, so this is a job description you can copy paste, from the job board. This one, I just use this as an example. It's a real example. I use this to mentor one particular student in the States, in the US. This is a shorter version. We already shortened it. Or you can use the full job description, no problem. And then this will summarize this job description for you. So this one, intern data science for this company. And we did a bit of research since 1986. Believe all investors, the rich people and the ordinary people, the high net worth individuals and the non-high net worth individuals, deserve access to financial planning and investment. So you start to realize the business of the company. And top independent financial planning and investment advisory firm, 1,500 employees. It's a big company in 150 offices. If you look at the size of the client base, it's big, 1.3 million clients. So this is important. Those of you who understand AUM, it's asset under management. It's $291 billion. That's huge. It's very big. And valuation, 7.3 billion. This company, it's once again a really big company. So their approach is high tech and high touch. So allow dedicated personal financial planner to deliver personal plan and financial confidence to everyone. And it's ranked #1 by Barron's. I don't know, #1 maybe in the US. So we need to understand there are two kinds of brokers, a prime broker and discount broker. So prime broker is for the rich people, and discount broker is for the for people like you and me. Okay, so then about the job, assets, fund goals. There should be an objective for people to invest. Maybe you save for retirement. So this is just one example. And the numbers represent individual lifetimes filled with hard work and dreams. Clients trust us with their assets. Financial education is a right for everyone. Work with large data sets to derive actionable insight, define and build model to impact business, and work with business team to explain and adopt model. I think you start to realize some of the job postings are very badly written. And up till now, you still don't understand what this job is about. Partner with technical team to deploy model and present findings and mechanics of models to data and business teams. You need Python, SQL, AWS preferred, 1 to 2 years experience preferred. So looks like everybody can apply for this job. Okay. All right, so with that, so if I run this, this is already very short. If you want to summarize this, probably look the same. Yeah. So I'm not going to read this anymore. But if you cut paste a long job posting, this is going to summarize, because summarize the job description delimited by triple backticks and format the summary into an ordered list of 10 sentences or less. So I specifically say, shorten this into a list of 10 sentences, right? Okay, so this is the most important part. So for this student, I came from financial industry, so I am a qualified mentor, and write blurbs to showcase my understanding of the work and the work environment. So over here, and just quickly go through it. So there are the actors, data analytics, data scientists, data engineers, developers working together. So I think I mentioned this a while ago. So data analysts do reporting business. So you can see I copied this probably from this, right? So that way you know the work relationship and stakeholders and partnerships and personal and commercial banking and business partners and product contact center operations, inbound and outbound sales and service collections. Oh, wait a minute. I think I somehow mixed this with different job. I hope I didn't mess up this. So I'm going to run this anyway. Okay, so based on that, I'm going to generate a mock interview, design a mock job interview based on 7 most common questions. What do you think? Why do you think you're qualified for this role? And what do you know about Advice Center, transformation, and this role? Why do you want to leave your current role? And what do you like and dislike your work in a work environment, any opportunities for process improvement, strengths, accomplishments, process, weaknesses, mistakes, failure. Where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years? What question do you have for me? Okay, so if I run this, it's amazing. It's going to generate a mock interview for you. What? So Andrew, a question from Andrew. You're using ChatGPT as a emulator for, yes. And for what platform are you using to work on this? This is just Python. So you can see this is a mock interview script. How good it is, I'm not sure. Let's just take a look. So why do you think you're qualified for this role? I believe I'm qualified for this role because I have experience working as a data analyst. This is crazy. I think it's what I feed is not great. You know what? I'm going to show you something I did before, and I think I have saved it. Sorry about the mess up. Where's OpenAI? Yeah, right here. I think I saved one of them to mark down. Okay. Business Analytics Manager, RBC. You know what? Let's look at this one. Okay. So it's once again, I'm using Python. So this is a Jupyter notebook, right? So as you can tell, this is the same. This is a long job description. It's a Business Insight Analytics Manager, RBC. So this looks normal. This looks very normal. So then when I run summarize the job description for me, here we go. So RBC is seeking a Business Insight and Analytics Manager to join their team. And the manager will analyze trends and provide insight to the advice center, transformation and strategy business partners. They will collaborate with product needs and data analytics to design and launch user-centric data insight use cases. The role requires developing analytics strategy and framework to support advice center. That's just a cool center and mega journey transformation. Regular analytics will be conducted to identify patterns, trends, and hidden causation and correlation relationship. Reporting analytics on transformational metrics will be delivered to track the success of the treatment plan. The manager will design solutions to deliver database insight to stakeholders and address user pain points. Collaboration with data engineers will be necessary to source and understand data. Required skills include experience in data analytics, Python SQL, data visualization, and using popular Python libraries. Nice to have skills include experience working on agile teams and knowledge of advice contact center. But still, if this is the only thing you have, you still feel very lost, right? So because you haven't done it, you know, it's hard to prepare for an interview like this. So this is why you need a mentor. So we assign you a mentor from the industry. Even after you finish the bootcamp training, you might get a job that you're only half familiar, right? So you need help you need insider information to really understand the work and the work environment and the people you work with and the relationships, right? So this is where the mentor can fit you. The mentor can fit you these blurbs to showcase your understanding of the work and the work environment. And if you can explain the job, better than the job description, I think that is a reliable indicator of your success on a job. You understand the job. So I want you to take a look at it. Oh, this is so you start to see the actors, you know, the different actors, data analysts and data scientists and data engineers. You need to work together, and even with developers, right? And stakeholders. The stakeholders are the internal business team or the line of business you need to support. So including personal and commercial banking, business partners and products, and contact center operations. Contact centers include inbound, outbound, and contact center can be used for sales and for servicing or for collection. So we start to give the student clarity. Omni-channel contact strategy. So you can use chatbot, you can use SMS, call, email, mail. So the contact strategy, you can use a combination of several things. Some are expensive, some are cheap. And process re-engineering is about better, faster, cheaper, and digital transformation and impact of generative AI, large language model on language tasks. You bet, because we can use AI to create chatbots, and that can take some of the tasks of the contact center for sure. So productivity gain is the combination of effectiveness, do the right thing, and the efficiency, do the thing right. So we start to put clarity around the job and hierarchy of the work, all the way from top down, strategy to tactics to operations. So you can break down the mega journey, the animation of mega journey. Here, 2 milestones and tasks. Use cases. There are almost always gaps between business data, insight, action, outcome. So these are the things we teach our students, the same thing. My job is to close those gaps. Insight. Insight could be trends up or down. And the trend and seasonality are different. Seasonality is like volatility, but long-term, it's still going up or maybe going down. And you also need to see the trend and identify the driver behind it. So insight include trend and patterns and relationships. So patterns could be clustering, segmentation, and treatment. So you can group the customers into maybe 6 or 7 clusters. And relationships, correlation is not causation. Just because 2 things correlate doesn't mean one causes the other. And so this is a statistical concept we need to be clear on. And KPIs are most important. These are the things business team can understand, and we should stick to them using KPIs. How to measure success. So for instance, portfolio effectiveness. So it's about volume and revenue, it's about growth, it's about loss. Operational efficiency, it's about operating expenses and the workload and versus the capacity, FTEs. And in the context of call center is the number of calls and the aging hours. And you start to, these are not too hard, but if you talk to an industry expert, you will get it. So average handling time and first contact resolution, user experience, user pain points, the service level agreement, SLA. I think everybody understands this. When you call a 1-800 number, you receive the IVR. It says your call is important to us. We're experiencing higher than usual call volume. Please stay on the line until a customer representative is available. And you can quote that, to tell the story. I know in your heart, you're saying bullshit. My call is not that important to you. That's why you keep me waiting so long and drive me crazy. If my call is important to you, pick up the damn phone. But of course, you cannot say this. But that's what really matters, right? And the agile team, okay. So there's a bit about Royal Bank, the contact center. So this is public information if you Google. So it's actually in Mississauga. It's a 2-9-story towers joined by a central and 6,000 employees. Crazy. So including insurance. Okay, so you almost feel like you know that place. Okay. Now you generate that mock interview. So let's take a look at the mock interview. It's actually pretty good over here. Let's look at the second question. What do you know about advice center transformation on this row? From my understanding, the advice center transformation involves the re-engineering process to make them better, faster, and cheaper. It also involves the implementation of an omni-channel contact strategy, which includes chatbot, SMS, call, email, and and mail channels. The goal is to improve the overall customer experience and drive digital transformation. In this role, I will be responsible for analyzing data and providing insight to support the AC transformation. I would also be working closely with stakeholders in business partner in personal and commercial banking, as well as connect operations. So don't you feel like, you actually understand the role better than the job description? I feel, I feel like so. Okay, so let me just look at Kaggle.com, yes, is where you can get the public data from. But imagine that's what everybody can get data from, and that's what everybody is doing. So remember the quote, the famous quote from Albert Einstein. So if we do what everybody else is doing and expect a miracle to happen, and that is simply insane, right? It's insanity. So if you really want to stand out, if you really want to get hired, we must do something different, So once again, I like to point out the skills that really make you stand out, I think, are better learned in the bootcamp. And after the bootcamp, we will match you with the industry expert. And together you can, you can create resume that can get you interviews, and you can design a conversation this way so you can deliver a good performance. So we have to use Python for this. Yes, you can use ChatGPT. I'm going to show you now. Where is the ChatGPT? Here. And this is something most people are not very clear. Okay, this is the ChatGPT, but most people don't go to, if you click your name, you should see custom instruction. I don't know if you see that. I encourage you to use that. So over here, you can enable it. So this is what I use to prepare another person. Let me see if you have that, if I have that. Okay. Coming back. Yeah, you can use the same thing for the resume. I can show you in a bit. From Nancy, there's some kind of assessment to enter the program to confirm that we are able to take advantage of the training when we graduate. Yes, we do an assessment of your skill level. As some of you might guess, people are from all kinds of backgrounds. Some are from science and engineering and math background, and they probably are stronger in coding. But some people are from business background, they are stronger in self-expression or understanding business in the big picture and the process and decision. So nobody's perfect. Everybody has your own unique set of strengths and weaknesses. So if you have had zero experience coding, we have data fundamental course before the bootcamp starts. We have data fundamental course to get rid of that zero. So we will get you warmed up with tools like SQL and Python. So you start coding, even before the bootcamp starts. So when the bootcamp starts, everybody has already used the tool. And it's a lot easier because we flatten the learning curve. And we go through the tools, and after that, we put you to work on the different project. And it's the project that will really, really anchor the tools. And you understand when to use which tool to solve what problem. Okay, back to this. So there are two boxes, and there is a limitation on how many words you can type. So the first box is, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? So I think you cannot put the whole resume here because there's the limitation of 1,500 words. So just put down the most important. So in this case, it's Henry Law, Master's, Business Analytics and Data Science, combination of business data communication, strong Python SQL AWS Cloud, time series and data, statistics, machine learning, I understand data model and stuff like this. And then the second box is how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So here you can say, design a mock interview based on 7 questions, incorporating summary of the job description and my research on company and job. And then the same question. And you can ask ChatGPT to return the text in this format. So it's a mock interview, interviewer and candidate, and they alternate, question and answer and question and answer, right? So once you have the only information that is missing is the job description, correct? So over here, you can design a mock interview based on 7 questions, incorporating summary of job description and my research on company and jobs. Maybe what you can do is, you can turn on this anyway. Let's just try it and save. So I'm going to take a job over here. How about the TD job? All right. Wow, it's a long one. Oh my God. Okay, I'll try it anyways. But first, I will ask, please summarize. Let me just paste the job here first. I'm going to just do the same as this. Summarize the job description. Go back. Summarize the job description, format the summary into an order list of 10 sentences or less. How about this? It's still very long. Okay. And then I can ask the second question, generate the mock interview. Look, this is crazy, right? How do you like it? I mean, I don't think you can just use this without change. But at least this will give you, something to work with, right? I mean, the answer is very punchy. Look, let's pick anyone. Describe a typical workday or project as it relates to the position without knowing yourself, because a typical workday in this role involves conducting comprehensive analysis on institution entities, team competitive intelligence reports and supporting sales objectives through prospect-list development. I'll be working closely with relationship manager, client portfolio managers to gather insight on investment. Yeah, it's pretty nice. What do you like and dislike? What about weeklists? Recognizing the importance of continuous improvement, I've actively sought feedback to address areas for growth. One lesson I've learned is the significance of setting realistic timelines. In the past, I've underestimated the time required for certain tasks, and I've since implemented better time management strategies to address this. I mean, it gives you something to work with. That's what I like about using ChatGPT. Would other AI chatbots provide better responsibility? Yeah, you can try. You can try. But usually, if you this is the feature engineering. If you give ChatGPT more information, the response will be more personalized and customized, for your circumstances, right? And so you want to make the connection, and it's you. It's not anybody else, and it has to be, look like you. Has to look like you, and it's also for that specific job. So you need to make that connection, and then once ChatGPT know enough about you and enough about the company and role. The reason I say the company and the role is you have to give yourself and ChatGPT a chance to understand the role in the context of the company, the big picture. Okay, let me do a check. Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. I'm going to show you just a few things. Let me just get out of this. Oh, what did I do? With career. Log out. With career again. All right. So I want to show you, this is the WeCloudData, and it's 100% owned by WeCloudData. And we use this platform to help our students find jobs. So if you go there, it's the website, and you click mentors, and you go down, and you will see all these industry experts. And if I click any of them, like Rohan, so here is his LinkedIn profile, so you can get more information about him. So he's our past student, but he made it. And so he is currently working as a BI analyst at Air Canada. Here is a short bio, and these are the roles he has either worked in or are familiar with. And he is also familiar with these several industries. And these are the skills or use cases where he applied the skill. And these are the services he provides. So I want you to know that there's no extra cost for the career services. It's all included in the tuition. So you pay one tuition, it includes both bootcamp training and career services. And we pay the mentors, we pay them to spend the time with you and help you find a job until you find a job. We do allocate a portion of your tuition to support your job search. For budgeting purpose, we encourage the students to always do the homework and make the best use of the mentor's time. Otherwise, because we're in the business to make a profit, we don't want anyone to abuse the system. So this is one thing I want you to know. And the other thing I want to show you is we also built a platform. So where I use this just to show you the relationship between the mentor-mentee, and this is a mentorship progress tracker. So you break down the end goal into milestones and tasks, and most of the time, the mentee is doing the heavy, but the mentor will also help you, and the mentee probably provide the inputs or maybe write the first draft of the resume, and mentor will help you polish or maybe suggest some bullets to incorporate. And then you finish the resume, and then you start expecting for the interview and do the mock interview. And then we also have the job tracker, where you can download the Chrome extension. So when you see a job you like on Indeed or LinkedIn, you can click the extension, and then the job will be parsed and archived into this job tracker. And the mentor also has access to this job tracker, so the mentor can keep track of the jobs you applied for. And we want to make sure you do the right thing. And just in case you get invitation for any opportunity, the mentor-mentee can just open this opportunity and work on this. So you can change the status, and you can also put down the notes. So it could be the research about the company and the job you put down here. And you can add contact, whoever the mentor knows, or somebody the mentor knows, and that somebody also knows the hiring manager. So we can leverage the network to fast track your resume and get you close to the opportunity. So we'll do anything to help you get the intel about that work and work environment, so you can do well in those interviews. So we also have an internal job board, and then we have the interview practice feature, and the mentor can create a mock interview and assign it to you, and then you can practice, make all the mistakes you can, and then when you feel better, you can record the interview, and when the mentor has time and can review the mock interview and give you feedback. Of course, the most valuable mock interview is the mentor and you. You both get on Zoom and do it real time. But sometimes when the mentor is busy with the day job, is not available, and then you don't have to wait. So you can practice interview, have it recorded this way. Yeah, so these are the things we invest resources just to. We are serious. We really take your best interest at heart. We want to make sure you succeed, and because that's the only way we succeed. Any question? Let me see what I have gone through and what I haven't. Okay, the AI. So AI will not take just anybody's job, but as you know, our job is made of many tasks, maybe tens, if not hundreds of tasks. So 100% AI is going to take some of those tasks. So those people who know how to work with AI and become better and faster will definitely take the task from the people who don't know how to work with AI. So those are the things I think we need to be aware of. And in 2024, experts are saying we need, days like years, meaning the advances that we make in the field and the application of AI is so fast. It's so fast. So question from Gaurav. Or you show resume rewrite with ChatGPT. Also, what was the best resume format? Let me see if I have one. Resume rewrite. Resume builder. But this one is not with ChatGPT though. It's still using Python. So what happened is we feed ChatGPT with something, so they learn, and these are the things we want them to type. And so now I'm asking ChatGPT to rewrite it, but sometimes it's just longer. It's not necessarily better, you see. Now sometimes when I look at this, no, this is just longer. It's not necessarily better. But over here, I want ChatGPT to write about an energy project. So your task is to improve the project experience on a data analyst resume with the limited but triple tactics. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to rewrite. It may be better. Develop strategy to influence commercial. You could always use this as a reference. Now I'm asking ChatGPT to write about a real estate project. You see, yeah. So it really depends on the information you feed ChatGPT. The quality of the answer depends on the quality of the answer, the quality of the question. Sorry. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. So overall, I'd like to show you maybe real quick. So for BI, so these are the kind of bullets we ask our students to include. You can just copy paste, but I'm pretty sure, some of these you don't have. And then it's important that you attend the bootcamp and acquire those skills. You don't need these many. You don't need so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You need only 6 to 8, 6, minimum 6. So this is how you write skill, and this is how you write project experience. So I use this just as examples to show people how to write about it. So for instance, this is a real estate, Canadian Real Estate Investment Trust. So this is a real estate industry, and then you can put the tools you use. Okay, so if you look at the 4 bullets, the first one, you automate data reporting process, eliminate manual steps, significant improve operational efficiency. You notice that I didn't include any numbers. And it's important that you include numbers. So I give students this as a template. So you need to fill in the numbers, dollar amount, numbers, and percentage change, just to show the impact of your work. And then you created dynamic interactive dashboard to visualize sites units. So you started to show people the KPIs, the sites units, rent increase, rent, per unit, rent increase per unit by province. So these are the KPI, and these are the dimensions, right? By province, by contract type, by unit type, identify opportunity for revenue maximization. So this is how you talk to the business manager or business team, and build pro forma financial statements. And I think anyone with accounting or finance background understand this. Based on revenue drivers, average rent increase on turnovers or renewal. So if you are involved in the real estate investment trust, the REIT, you would understand. There are two kind of contracts, turnovers and renewal. So this is also your opportunity to showcase your understanding of the industry. Then you can recommend recommend strategy to mitigate risk. For renewal, rent increase cap, I think everybody understands this, 2.5%, 2.0 in Ontario, British Columbia. And for turnovers, the lost rent during days vacant for renovation, listing, and showing. So this is the business talk. And it also involves analytics. And this kind of experience, I think, will actually impress people. So time is up. I'm going to give you my email. So contact me if you want. I don't know why I cannot send. Oh, wait. I should switch to everybody. Yeah. Okay, so this is my email. And you can also schedule a meeting with me using my calendar. So we can discuss you and your particular circumstances, and I can give you some advice, how to strategize the next move. Maybe build a career in DAVI or find a better job. Maybe find a job if you don't have one. So that's about it for today. I hope you get something useful. And it's my objective for every input session to be helpful and useful. Even if you don't use our service, I'm hoping this 2 hours will give you something you kind of walk away with, something learned. All right, I'm going to stop here and thank you very much. And good luck with your job search.